July 4th is coming. You know what that means? Burgers. Yes, burgers. But not any burger. Smash burgers. Let me show you how to do it. Let's get started. So the first part I want to talk about are the buns. You can pretty much use potato buns. You can use brioche buns. Today here I have some homemade buns that I made. Whatever buns you choose to use, just make sure you use the best one you can find. Alright, for the second part, I like to use lettuce, onions, and tomatoes. So for the lettuce, I usually just piece it into little leaves like this, and I just use that to top the burger. So for the second topping, I like to use tomatoes. Not everyone likes tomatoes, so if you don't like tomatoes, leave it out. But today I'm going to use tomatoes. What I like to do with the tomatoes is slice it thinly. So maybe 1/8 of an inch, not too thick, not too thin. The reason why I don't like it too thick is when you top the burger and you put the patty on, it's just going to slide right off if it's too thick. So when it's nice and thin, you'll still taste the tomato, but you're able to keep the patty on there. And we're just going to take a few slices. And for the onions, what I like to do is, most people like it in rounds. Here I have half onion. I prefer actually sliced onions. So I'm just going to just thinly slice it. You don't need it to be too much onions because you don't want it to be too harsh on your burger. So just a few thinly sliced onions would be okay. So for the fourth part, sauce. That's a very important component. I'm going to make it with 4 easy ingredients, actually 5. I'll tell you what the 5th ingredient is later. So the first ingredient here is we have mayonnaise. I'm going to use about a 1/4 cup of it into a bowl. 1/4 cup. Okay. So next, ketchup. I'm going to put just a couple of tablespoons, 1 or 2. Let's go 2. Next we have is Dijon mustard. It gives it nice acidity and a nice kick, so we'll add just a few teaspoons of it, maybe let's go 2 heaping teaspoons. And sriracha, of course, gives it the spiciness. Add as much as you dare. I like it kind of spicy, so I'll add a tablespoon. Not too spicy though, because I have someone else eating this. And for the last ingredient, the secret ingredient, Worcestershire sauce. So we're just going to add a couple of dashes into this, and it's going to give it the nice umami. And when you taste it, you're going to say, that's good, but you don't really know what's in it, and that's the Worcestershire sauce. So let's give this a good mix and taste for seasoning. So once you have it mixed like this, we're going to put it in the fridge for the remaining of the time while we're making our burger. So into the fridge it goes. So for the fourth part, the cheese. Today I'm using cheddar. You can use whatever cheese you want. You can use the pre-sliced stuff. But if you want shredded cheese, make sure you get the whole block and shred it yourself. It'll be much better that way. And so I'm just going to shred about maybe 1/8 of a cup per patty. So today I'm making about 4 patties. I'm going to shred up about half a cup of cheese. So once you have your cheese shredded, store it in the fridge so it doesn't melt before you get the burger done. For the 5th and final part and the best part, the patty. So typically what you want to use is the 80-20 blend, which is 80% beef, 20% fat. But today I'm actually using a dry aged blend. But again, use whatever you have. Make sure it's at least 20% fat. What we're going to do is split these into maybe 4. So here I have about a pound of beef. So we're going to shape it into balls. And the reason why we do this is so that we can go ahead and smash it down later when we make smash burgers. Make sure they're equal in size so that you don't have one bigger than the other. So if you go to make like a double cheeseburger, for example, they're going to be even, and you're not going to have a really thick patty and a really thin patty. If you notice, I didn't salt these right away. I'm gonna salt it right before I go to cook it on the pan. I think it gives a better flavor like that. It doesn't draw all the salt in the meat doesn't draw all the moisture out. All right, so it's time to cook the burgers. What I'm gonna be cooking it on is a cast iron griddle. If you have a cast iron pan, cook it on that. Stainless steel pan, cook it on that. Even a non-stick, but it'd be better if you can cook it on some sort of cast iron because of how much heat it's gonna hold, and plus you're gonna have to use a metal spatula to scrape it off if you have one. So once you get your cooking surface hot, so in this case a griddle, once your griddle is hot, you want to drizzle a little bit of oil on it. And we're going to cook this one patty at a time. So what we're going to do is take this patty, we're going to throw it on, salt and pepper on top, and smash it down. It's going to cook really quick, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to cook 80% on one side and 20% on the other. So yeah, let's get the patty on. Again, you want to hear the sizzle when you throw it on. So, and then add a little salt, pepper, and just go to town, smash it down. You want to smash it down as thin as you can. It's okay if your patty's not perfectly circular because all these edges here, it'll get nice and crispy when it fries up. So yeah, let's let it fry up for a minute and a half, or 2 minutes, and then we'll flip it and add the cheese. So I know it's hard to see on the camera, but it's almost ready to be flipped. It's actually ready to flip because it's getting really gray up. We can see the gray go up. So what we're going to do now is scrape it. This is why you want to use a metal spatula, so you can scrape up all the goodness on the bottom and just flip it. See the coloring of that? Now, this is when you add your cheese. And we're just going to let it melt. If you have a lid, throw a lid on that. I don't have a lid, so I'm just going to be throwing aluminum foil on it. It's had about a minute. Let's take it off. See how the cheese is nice and melted? So we're going to take it off now. It's ready. And then just throw it on the pan. So we're going to do this for the other 3 patties. And let's get back when we're done. Alright, so now that we have everything assembled, we have the buns toasted, we have our patties cooked up. Let's start the assembly. So first thing is, we need to grab our sauce, and so let's choose a bun. Let's choose this one with the sesame. Make sure your buns are always toasted, and it will prevent the burger itself from getting soggy. So first layer I like to do is sauce on the bottom, and not too much, just a nice thin layer like that. And then the next layer I like to do is to add some lettuce, because it will help the bun itself not to get soggy. The lettuce will catch all the juices in the patty that drips out. And then speaking of the patty, let's throw on the patty next. And then I like to go with 1 slice of tomato and just a few slivers of onion, not too much. You don't want it to be too onion forward because you want to be able to taste the burger and the meat itself. And then lastly, to top it off, I go in with another dollop of sauce, just thinly spread like that, and then top the burger. There you have a delicious burger. Let's taste it. Alright, let's give this a taste. Cheers. Oh, full. As you can see, this burger is really, really good. The sauce, just so good. Cuts through the fattiness of the cheese of the beef. The bun is not soggy at all because of the lettuce. Thanks to the lettuce here. The dry age just gives it a nice funkiness. So I say give this burger a try. Give this method a try. Let me know how it goes. It's real easy to cook. Just gotta prepare a few ingredients. I think the key thing is just finding a really good beef blend, and you'll have a good burger. If you like this recipe, hit the like button. If you want more content like this, hit the subscribe button. And let me know how it goes in the comments below, or if anything else you want me to cook. And have a happy 4th of July, and stay safe. Bye.